Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Brand Jungle finally. Yeah, we've had these supports go from mid to support, then be kind of buffed in the jungle. Brand, Zyra, Morgana. Obviously, Morgana more so than the other two, but Brand has really had a presence in the jungle as a jungler, much more than the other two combined in history, and Zyra not really at all, except for myself and a few other crazy people. But in this meta, he struggles because you do not clear as fast as you need to. And it's not like Season 9 where he was actually kind of heavily used, where you could just kind of control crabs and gank and not worry too much about being out-farmed. We'll get a juicy first blood here. We take those apples. And so it's kind of weird and really off-meta to see him lately. It's not something that... Is this... What are we doing here? Is this an Aatrox bot lane? Okay, I'll have a look to see where the lanes actually end up going. But we have a mid lane Ashe like Season 1 with a really great summon name. We have Lissandra support. So this is very Korea-esque, isn't it? So the nice thing about this game is we've got a bit of a back and forth in the gold league. Do not worry. I had a few games where bot lanes just curb stomped, and I kind of want you to see Brand Jungle, you know, be the carry, have the highest KP, do the most damage, because that's really how you're actually going to be able to use a champion if you do it properly. So runes would have been in your screen. Obviously Dark Harvest. Obviously Treasure Hunter, because... You know, the 550 gold is really good when you don't clear as fast, when you can't gank as well, when you need a bit of an assist, you know, just to survive the early game, get to the mid game, and become what Brand is meant to be. But you don't really need that much gold as Brand in order to actually thrive. And with these off-meta jungles, you're not always getting a lot of kills early. Yeah, you're doing damage, yeah, you're having presence, but you can see here from the clears, we'll keep it on him. Normally we'll look around an F key and so on, but... in this particular situation, there we go, just do that. In this particular situation, you can see how much slower he is by looking at his point of view and how exactly you can amp up your clear a little bit. If you are playing Brand Jungle, it may be struggling a bit, but you can see we're going to be out of here by like, what, 240, 245? And that was Aatrox Jungle. I'm going to swap here very quickly. That was like the Aatrox Jungle video we did, and then they buffed his damage to monsters directly. So Brand doesn't need a huge touch in order to be something that you can actually play. But I'm showing you, you can actually play him right now. So there we go, actually a little faster than I thought, 239. And there was a little bit of a kite to the mid lane because we're looking at the mid lane. We're tracking the fact that it's a Yasuo versus an Ashe, you see. And we want to make sure that if he goes all in, we can be that as Shadow and get a counter gank off. Now, when you're playing an off-meta jungler, specifically a mage jungler that might be struggling in those 1v1 scenarios, you need to look for whatever advantages you can get. So we're kiting the wolves here, and now we think we're going to do blue and Grum, but we're not actually going to do that because we see here the Aatrox, obviously, flashless from that level 1, Riven with a little bit of a lead in the Ruby Crystal, and we know that the Kha'Zix, thanks to the hookshot from the Ashe, as you would have seen in the minimap, is in the area but hasn't yet showed. The lane is in a good position for us to gank. We missed the Q, so we missed the stun, but he doesn't have flash, so it doesn't really matter. And obviously in this particular situation, we have mid Prio against us, and here he is, with the Kha'Zix hopefully showing up. No, the Kha'Zix is not going to show up. We saw the... If you are a meta jungler, and you are not using your mid Prio to abuse an off-meta jungler, come on now. You must do it. You have to do it. If you're going to let him get away with things, then, you know, you're taking away the offside and the downside of his pick. But Brand played it perfectly. Cut his clear short to maximize a gank position because he knew if he 5 camps and 6 camps, you're not going to get here in time to match the Kha'Zix. The lane's in a good spot, take the opportunity, get the gank off that you have, and fall back down. You're not going to fight this dude over this crab here with the Yasuo's Prio, right? So, let's create our own Prio with the ganking of the top lane, and before the Kha'Zix shows up, thanks to the Ashe hookshot. And we know now that he's going to snack this, so we don't really care. You could look here for a repeat gank if this ends up being in a good position. The final tick. The final tick. Buff Riven. I'm just kidding. Don't buff Riven. This champion is strong. Always is, always has been, always will, have been. And now, of course, because we do this stuff on the top side and spend so long there, obviously you can see the full, you know, we did a full clear, we did a gank, we took a crab, and it's 435 already. So meta junglers already yeeted our second Krugs and gotten out. Kha'Zix chooses to reset, get this crab, and then, of course, gank bot lane. 28 CS, very nice. So we know he's going to fall back and do his blue side. Do be careful of the invades from the tri-bush, so make sure you're kiting the camp and keeping vision of the bushes. Keep yourself a little bit hidden. Don't tank the damage from the monsters as much as you can, alright? And of course, if they're going to overstay here, then please do rotate. Don't finish your Krugs. Let's get the burn damage, baby. We do have Q up. I keep forgetting the name for it. Yeah, Sia. There you go. Sia is what we want. It's a Senna Katarina bot lane. Lissandra yeets to the wrong direction, but she basically flanks her. Very, very nice. And that is a free stun and a free assist. We hit our W, which is of course what we will be maxing for our maximum clear speeds. We hit the Q for the stun, hit the E, and she dies. Good root by the Jhin as well. So what does Bran provide here? If you can path properly, high damage, good CC and easy to hit CC relatively, and of course dot damage, which is something really, really good when you're ganking. Because people will underestimate that damage when they're trading. They won't realize it's happening. They get low enough thinking they're going to survive, and then tick, 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 boom, they die. Excuse me, who said you could do this? We missed that Q, unfortunately. He is level 6, we're level 4. We want to be cautious. We flex the emote, he ease over to our Raptors. That's a violation. And Kha'Zix shows up here now, going from 28 to 32 to 36 to 40. So we know he did Grumpwall's Raptors and didn't do his Krugs. And now we're going to run into our jungle. And we know Yasuo and... What are you doing, Yasuo? And Kha'Zix are going to try and pressure us, but they're not watching the back timers of the Lissandra and the enemy bottom lane. So why would you do it, son? Because he's an assassin player and he knows only one thing in life. Go in. And, you know, I tell you these guys, everything we've discussed so far, in the main channel video I just released with a beautiful Volibear thumbnail, by the way, I will link it below for you. We talk about how you can use this information to exploit whatever advantages and weaknesses exist on the map as you need. Kha'Zix isn't using the information he has. Brand is using the information he has, and that's the difference between them. And when you want to play Brand, you have the damage, you have the stun, you have the ability to keep your spacing, especially with, of course, water walking in the river, and your Nimbus cloak when you upgrade that juicy blue smite. But you have to be able to use information. And if you don't, you will die and you will lose. And that's why I love playing my Zyra jungle, because I can outsmart people, even Kha'Zix's, even high elo junglers, with your positioning, with your pathing, and it's a different skill set, right? Typically, we're looking to be aggressive, to deny. And in this case, we're practicing very heavy avoidance. You're giving up dragons, you're giving up heralds. You're significantly playing like a roaming support mage who actually just has to farm a little bit. And here we go, Riven going in, level 6, we're shadowing this gang from the lane side. We see Kha'Zix in the bottom lane, we flash, get that stun, and Riven will see it. No, she won't. Oh, that was anticlimactic. We did burn his flash though. Can we keep going? We know the Kha'Zix was seen on the bottom side, so we do have a bit of time before he might show up. Nope, he's right here, so we're absolutely fine. What an idiot. Ashe solo kills the Yasubi, and we're gonna try go in again. And if you watch the video on the main channel, watch the Aatrox Tonya. If you watch a video on the main channel, there's a clip with a jungle Zed in a very similar scenario against Jackson. He just died and into the lane. Kind of something I talk about in that video. So we tried, but Aatrox is strong. We lose this, but we can live with that, that's fine. Now, if you're a typical jungler, and Kha'Zix got away with this, maybe stole your red, now you'd be flexing into this, you could shadow this gank if it was up, you could go back to the Herald at 8 minutes, but as Brand, as a mage jungler, we do not have this opportunity. We have to reset, we're low. Let's go get our Ionian Boots plus Last Chapter combination, which is exactly what we want in this case. For your Zyras, no, you go Pen Boots, because the Pen Boots, where Brand clears a little bit faster thanks to his W and his burn damage and his HP damage, yada yada, we don't really have the benefit with Zyra, so we need the penetration to get through that, the magic resist of the camps. Again, beautiful lane gank, waiting for the engage, shadowing from the corner. We go straight in, excellent flank from the Lissandra as well. He's going to open this up. Will he die from the burn damage of the Ignite? No, he does not. Misses the ult, but again, you see the difference. I'm going to use my camera now. We're ganking like this. We're shadowing this. Umbrella jungling. He is not going into the river through these pathways where mid lane has prio, where Kha'Zix can shadow in, because Ashe, while she's done a good job here, is still an immobile ADC in the mid lane. So we don't have the roaming component that you would from a Kiana or other such abominations in the mid lane. So we have to really be super safe on the outsides here. You see, Kha'Zix goes in. If we're walking in the river, we're going to die. So now we can umbrella jungle and shadow in here. The wind wall is used. We do have our ult available to us. All right, we're waiting for this Q. We want to make sure we hit it. There we go. There we go. Sorry. I was premature on the there we go. But he hit everything in the end. Being patient with your spells is crucial in Brand. It's crucial in Zyra. It's crucial in anything like this, because your CC is 2012 champion or before. And these champions are 2022 champions, 300,000 years design, Giga mobility or updates, and you just struggle. So here now, because we know the Yasuo's dead, the wave's pushed up and the Kha'Zix detached, we know we can move into the river, ward this, and start up the Rift Herald, which is something I do look to do and do enjoy doing. So the shadowing from the umbrella jungling, the beautiful lane ganks, and the disrespect that laners give you is really something that opens up the map for you. But you have to be able to see it, and you have to know exactly when you can venture into the river like the Chad you are and set aflame the soul of your enemies. That was a lot better than I actually would have anticipated. we're looking here to place that just to give it to Riven. No. 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 This is no. This is a horrific herald usage because we know Kha'Zix might have been in the area, excuse me. Riven's already hitting these plates. It's already at 1.25, 1.2, whatever, 1.1, who the hell cares? You know, this is at 5, this is at 5. You've got 4 minutes to go make a play on those lanes once you finish Liandry's and maybe push nicely to 2.5 plates before activating it. The Riven's gonna get this no matter what at this timer, you know? So don't waste a herald in that case. If you're playing something like Brand, the gold is important, yes, but so is the map pressure because you want to get to the point where you can elevate the game state and you become Brand. And your team can move around the map, your chess pieces can move around the map without you having to risk running into a Kha'Zix 1v1. Brand can obviously handle himself significantly, right? Oh, Ash arrow, Prey arrow, doing! Very, very nice, but can they play off of it? Nice roost, nice stun, nice ult. Things happen! I was misspeaking and then I labored my words and I'm just gonna stick with it because it's funny. Kha'Zix is now in the bottom lane here. Brand in the meantime goes top lane. I'll rewind it for you. Duskblade activation, so... Katarina goes in, alright, obviously we're sequencing down in this capacity, and if we have enough gold for Liandry's, you want to go get it. But if you see this engage in the bot lane and you see Aatrox disrespecting once more the fact that you are the jungler supreme and trying to outstat the Riven, you say, yo, what up? And you kill him. And now you can push the wave, and now you could use the Herald, you know what I mean? So I don't really like the use of it there, but we are going to end up getting all the plates necessary. Not for himself, but for Riven. Ah, he stays. Good. You should stay. You deserve it. Very good jungling. But it's a different style of jungling, and it's one of my favorite styles of jungling because it's all about this, awareness, and using information. And it's a bit psychological, isn't it? You're using the psychology of enemy junglers against you when they disrespect your pick and they have no idea exactly how you play. And if you know how to play your champion, it's beautiful. And this is why I like Brand. I should honestly just be playing Brand jungle, to be honest with you. Because it is something that is very similar and something that I enjoy. Now, we are losing some camps, and we did a good job, obviously, of creating prior to the point that we can't... well, that's expected. The gold lead is going to go in the red team's favor, so that's why I picked this game, because I looked at the gold graph, and I just wanted to make sure that these weird comps didn't create too much of a ruffle stump in the wrong direction. Good flank here, overcommit by the red team. Here we go, Brand's going to abuse this. Nice control to make sure we have Bush... Right there you go. Just absolutely stunned, rinsed, and we're going to use our ult and... Yeah! For a second, I was a little bit worried. So now Senna's in the mid lane, obviously with this auto slows. Oh, turn, beautiful. Claps in the comment, please. Lots of claps, lots of champagne emojis, whatever your favorite emotes are. Brand thumbs up. That was beautiful. Beautiful flash stun, and then making sure to create distance again. Because you use the flash, you have the Nimbus Cloak, which means you can create distance again. That's why it's so good as well. And just for those who don't know, 75 seconds on the ultimate cooldown, 75, 64, 53 is our CDR. So, Katarina is going in the mid lane, all in, and Katarina things. Triumph proc, escapes. Lissandra's going in. She tries. The tower hits her, but she does not want to go further. So, what do we have? We have here Liandry's, this Giant's Belt, Blasting Wand, and we're going for the Demonics. Now, if you don't need... Alright, let's help our team, Level 9 Kha'Zix, though. I mean, the damage, but the problem with Kha'Zix is... TikTok. No. Uh-oh, Aatrox. Caution. Smite the crab. We didn't. We didn't need to. We just killed them. We can smite the champions. I might have probably, and maybe he should have smited the crab just to remove the coin flip, because I don't want to results based it and say, yeah, look, I lived. But that's a mechanical move. Decide what you want to do in this particular situation. I probably would have smited the crab myself. But hey, I do not know Brand like second nature as much as I would my champions. But there you go. Well played, good slows, and obviously the damage is disgusting. It's just like if we look at the numbers we're looking at here. We've got max health, magic damage 3%, obviously. We're at 15.83. Can you see that? Yeah, 15.83. So that's quite substantial with our AP at this point, and that will get stronger and stronger and stronger. So Brand really does a hell of a lot of damage, and if you're against a lot of HP stacking enemies, then obviously you're going to enjoy yourself. This is not fully ranked. We're going into Q obviously next. For those of you who don't know, 5.7 second cooldown at this point. From 7 to 5, and then Q is from 5.71 to 4.29, and then E, of course, is 8.57 to 5.71, and that is naturally not as base cooldowns because we built Leandries, because we have Ionian. We have a lot of haste and ability haste. So that's on champions that need spell cycle, right? If you need to cycle your spells as much as possible, actually I lied to you. We're going into the Rylai's. I thought for a second, hey, we're going demonics. Do we need demonics even? We don't. We're going into the Rylai's. I apologize. Sincerely, I do. I don't look at everything. I like to keep the games a little bit fresh. I just look at the gold graphs. Don't really look at anything else. I kind of like to process live, I guess, as I'm thinking about it. But yeah, anyone who has ever watched Brand knows the... Actually, now I'm getting cursed images in my brain from the history of these item combinations. Everyone knows that the synergy between Rylai's and Leandries before the item rework was you just had to build it almost. It was just such a... They came in a pair, and it was very irritating to have to buy them. Zyra would do it. Oh, someone's coming. Who said you could arrive? Excuse me, this is rather brazen of you. Can we once more smite the build? We don't need... Oh, okay, we do this time. But look at this. You stun him, you burn him, you ult him, he dies. It's the end of story. That's it. The damage is absolutely insane because the root is an absolute game changer and easy to... Oh, no. Well, I don't know if we can get out of this. Wait. Again, Rylai's Giga slows. Okay, okay, Ash. Ash, you went too far. At this point, I would probably think about just keeping my distance. I'll try to do as much damage as possible. There we go, nice burn damage again. We throw that out. Ooh, ooh. You know what? Okay, that time, the Senna is flashing the W. I love being surprised by this. I love it because it speaks so much about knowing your champion's turn ability and damaged threshold and how much you can tank. And it's beautiful to watch when you don't think they can do it and they can. It's exciting. And that's why when you make giga plays or your teammates make giga plays, okay, in games and Clash and so on, and you see it, you're like, and now you spam pinging them. That for me is a lot of excitement. Like I know in certain situations as my champion that I've many points on, what I can do. Your team doesn't know because I don't know your champion. And when you make the play, it's exciting, right? So I like that. I like that. And I know Brand can do these things, but I don't know if he can do those things in this moment. So I'm very happy to see this because this is a greater example of what you can do with this champion once you begin to learn exactly those damage thresholds plus those CDR thresholds, right? So it rewards a time spent playing the champion. So 719 at this point, exquisite fights from his perspective, keeping his distance, and Nimbus Cloak coming in huge, the smites coming in huge, and obviously you can flash reposition as well. Now we're going on the offensive here, which is of course what we want to do. But we're still Brand. So we still have to be cautious. Well, Yasuo pushed up and then kind of played safe, so we're looking for a dive. I mean, we weren't really going for a dive without the minion wave, so maybe that's, in retrospect, a bit of a bad decision, but does happen. Kha'Zix's going for maximum tower damage. He watched the tower damage video. That's very good, but he's still down a level to Brand jungle, which is embarrassing and funny. However, now that we do so much damage, right, and then we can go into the Zhonya's, of course, as well, which is kind of necessary at this point, you still do want to push that map, yeah? You still want to push that map. Why does he take it? Does he not know that the whole team is there? He's going to be rooted for about 1,000 years. We do have an ultimate, which we're just going to absolutely rinse and melt the entire enemy team. We have a flash Nimbus Cloak repositioning. Why are they fighting a Brand in a chokehold with this much CC? Why are they chasing down a Senna? Well, that was a fight that happened. And now the gold lead is 39-39. We only have 300 gold. So here, brilliantly done. Excellent use of, obviously. As soon as they will clump like this, just bounce your ult around them, send them to hell. Do your best in that particular situation. You will usually die, by the way. If you're a mage in those situations, you will usually die. But the benefit here is you do get to use your stopwatch, because too many times people will have their stopwatch, they won't use it, and then they will have enough gold to upgrade the Zhonya's, and you kind of don't want to really do that. You want to look to use that stopwatch and then upgrade to the Zhonya's very, very quickly, so you kind of get a double usage. Again, over-chasing by the enemy team, not tracking the fact that the Brand's coming out of base and respawning, although it is a Yasuo, so I don't think we can do much about that. Good turn by the enemy team, and obviously the Hextech Gates coming in absolutely huge. And the enemy team is now basically saying, well, you may have an unconventional team, but we do not. I mean, they do, but also the Senna does make up for the fact they don't really have a core ADC, because the Senna, It scales disgustingly well, and yeah, you don't really have, you know, a prototypical ADC being able to run people down with certain itemization spikes, but because of the Soul passive and the fact that you are already with Unbroken Glaive plus Mana Moon, this is already all you need as Senna to do a lot of damage, to slow people down, and we get the kill. Nicely done. So, the enemy team, with a more conventional team comp, but still a little bit weird in some cases, has to play it normally, right? They have to do all the normal things, but the blue team comp here, we've got the mage support in the jungle, we've got a mid laner who's support, we've got an ADC mid, we've got another ADC, and we've got Riven. So they have to play team fights very, very well, but they do have a lot of CC. So whenever people clump up in a chokehold or misposition, you can make the pick very, very easily. If someone overcommits in a fight, you can easily kill them and kite back. And of course, in a chokehold, as I said, huge amount of damage all the time, everywhere. So now we're trapping in the river here. Katarina, is anyone floating by? Did we get spotted? No, we did not. That is a bad hit on the plant. You want to make sure you try and cover this particular bush, because who knows who's setting a trap. Oh, she just gets out. Lucky. But now we know. You see? Where are they, guys? I haven't seen them in so long, guys. They see the gym, but they don't see these two. Again, you've got to cover this bush. She's dead now. She's absolutely dead now. And now we can use our spacing. Zarya is activated. She's going to try ult, but will it matter? No, it doesn't. Senna's now going to try and keep her distance. What souls are we on, by the way? 93. So we're getting up there. We use our ultimate, obviously. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Is it enough? Now we're kiting back into the Yasuo, who gets, of course, his shield bow. Disgusting item. Beautifully done. And Kha'Zix in the backline says... And now he's flaming his team for dying without him. But you are not there, sir. Oh, Riven. Nicely done. You see what I'm saying? They have to make a chokehold or pick play in order to win. And as soon as they do that, the enemy team can do absolutely nothing about it. It's just picking off one by one afterwards with the amount of CC and damage that they have. That's why solo queue is so good for this kind of stuff, because provided you understand how to set these picks and put yourself and your team in a position to capitalize on whatever your team comp is, you can win and carry. You can climb with really weird shit. And this is the thing, right? Solo queue isn't about draft in the sense of having, hey, who's got the better team comp, the better meta junglers, the better meta champions. It's about taking the team comp you do get from the players on your team and finding the best way to execute a game plan that allows you to win. And that's why I like these weird comps in solo queue, because it allows you to think outside the box. And also, if everyone understands what you have to do as a team in order to beat the enemy team comp, especially if it's more conventional, it's so powerful, you know what I mean? So I really like thinking about the game this way, rather than going, oh, you need prototypical drafts because every player's of equal skill. No, not everyone's of equal skill in this elo. Not at all. Sorry, in solo queue, in general. The games are never made up of 5 equally skilled players on either side. And even in pro play, it's not the case. Now, we do want to be cautious here because, again, we're flanking, but you can do this. You can be Assassino Brand, and you guys got the Baron. Here we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nice use of the stun into the flash, into the Nimbus Cloak, but we're not going to get out because Katarina is a champion. But to be fair, Brand just assassinated the Senna and almost our whole team comes. So that was beautifully done. And we do have to waste our flash with the Nimbus Cloak. You know what? Not seeing a lot of Nimbus Cloak lately, but I'm enjoying seeing it on the Brand here for spacing and for repositioning. It's something that's super, super good. When I'm playing Zarya, usually I'm just going some stopwatch and Cosmic Insight because I always need the Zhonya's, right? I don't have the same reliable stun as Brand because obviously the E has a travel time. People can see it, and the travel time is slower than Brand's Q, obviously. And obviously the rest of the spells don't really help me set that up, right? It's just a pure skill shot. There's no extra setup and so on. But yeah, the Nimbus Cloak is also very, very good. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I do like Cosmic personally, and I do like the stopwatch early because I like to play a bit more aggressively in certain scenarios, but pick your poison. You know, you can pick a whole bunch of different things for secondary pages in this case, but this is very, very good. Now, we can go into things like the demonics because we have the Rylai's, we have the slow, we have the kite ability, we have the CDRs. Let's have a look at the cooldowns again. We're at 5 seconds in this one, we're at 3.5 in this one. This is not 56.25. It's up every single fight. Huge. Tracking cooldowns and tracking builds is what allows you to do this. Even if you know a champion has X cooldown, if they don't build haste versus them actually building haste, can change the nature of the cooldown. Right, here we go. Riven's in the backline here. Now they're trying to do a typical front-to-back fight. Riven is able to reposition. We still have Baron on a few people. Its timer should be expiring very, very shortly, which it is. We do have 1 dragon to 2. We kind of want to start piling those up because of Quiz. The Hex Tech is super nice. Now we're just zoning. We're using our damage. We're using our damage to chunk them, to get roots from Jin to keep our spacing. The Ashe ult is down, that's huge. Senna's not coming in, she walks a little bit too far forward. Just one rotation, one spell on her melts her, which is why things like Zyra do so well against Senna's. Kha'Zix is now looking for the steal. Zoning. The zone potential on this blue team is huge, and if you can do it properly with good vision control, love it. Free Dragon for us, we take now. What of course they're going to do is push this one. Kha'Zix, again, completely out of position. The Kha'Zix is screwing his team, so if you're someone like the Kha'Zix in your low elo, mid elo games where you're kind of trying to push, split, and you're trying to flank, and you just always end up way far away from your team, it's on you. You have to position better. You have to path in a way that allows you to be there to capitalize on your more conventional team comp. Senna's not flanking. They've placed this, but it is, of course, Alessandra, who's going to stun. Can she get to the plant? Can she ult herself? Yes, she can. She buys time. Katarina goes in. Now we're spacing from the left side. They're going to group up again straight for us. Brand is already here. We're looking to use that ult as soon as we can, but Riven's on the backline just absolutely melting. We don't actually have to do anything. We didn't have to do anything in that fight. But if we did have to do something, we were ready to do it. That's the most important thing. Yep. Sounds like I'm kind of joking at this point, but I'm also not. Because if you put yourself in the right position and your team comes through, great. Cool. We won as a team. If you put yourself in the right position and your team gets thwarted and destroyed for whatever reason, you're there to clean up the mess. You're in the backline ready to dish that damage. They were primed for a nice Ricochet ultimate. Good grief. Can I just remember them one time? Pyroclasm. You know, I'm not a caster, so I'm not meant to know all the names, but I do know some, and then I just absolutely space when I'm recording this video. Yeah, great. Anyone else enjoy Aatrox? Fun. But beautifully done, and now we can push up the mid lane here. We don't want to overstay too much because Katarina and Yasubi will just absolutely destroy us, except I'm just kidding because we'll stun them and they'll die. So, you know, what am I talking about? I don't know anything. I'm Jon Snow. And there we go. Kha'Zix looks for the flank. Yeets in, kills the Brand, but because he is seen, gets absolutely wiped. Good job, man. Great. Excellent jungling by the Kha'Zix. Beautifully done. I don't mind dying for that. It's usual that you will if you're a high damage immobile mage and you're the only bloody thing they can kill. So we know this. But with so much CC, there's nothing they can do. We can push the inhib, and now we can push to close. We are not here to take our victory lap, but we did the most damage. But we had the highest kill participation. But we ganked the lanes beautifully early and put our team in the best position to win. Brand Jungle, everybody. Finally on the channel, something I really enjoy playing, a unique style. Definitely go ahead and try it out, see if you enjoy it. If you execute it well, you can definitely carry games, but you will need to know your positioning as a champion, and you will need to know, for obviously, your damage and how much you can tank, as you would have seen in this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and learn something. Patreon has all your coaching VODs and coaching signups, and as always, I will see you all in the next video, in the next tutorial.